morning! I am back to vlogging, at least for a little bit, maybe a couple days. I gave it up when our new little came into the house because I can't show her face on social media anywhere, and so vlogging kind of seemed pointless. But I'm gonna try it because it gave me a real sense of purpose with my reading, and I figure as long as I hold the camera up high enough and use the right angles, I can keep her mostly out of the shots and edit out whatever accidentally pops in. But I am actually in the middle of 2 books. Technically, if you look at my Goodreads, I'm in the middle of 4, but I've basically given up 2 of those books for the moment anyway. So I am currently reading Dakiti by E.J. Fish. This is my review book. I have about 100 pages left, and when I get that done, I can get my second review book for the month. And then my for fun book is Dog Warriors by Wen Spencer. This is the 4th in the Ukiah, Oregon series. And when I went to buy the 5th one, because I was so sure that it was one of those like really long-standing series, I found out that this is the last one, and it was published in 2005. So I really don't think any more are coming, and I'm really sad about it because I love this one, especially because this one I don't think he's a gay protagonist. I think he's like hetero flexible and just found the exception to the rule in his boyfriend. But I love it, and I'm really sad that that is over. So I went on Thrift Books, and I found another early 2000s sci-fi that gave me the same vibes, and I bought the whole trilogy for like $12 because used books are the best, and I can't buy used books from my favorite places because Iowa can't sell used books right now, and I'm so sad about it. Actually, Iowa can't sell any books right now, but, you know, used books counts as that. So anyway, I'm going to read a couple of these, hopefully finish both of these today, which is a decent amount of reading. I also will end up doing the dishes because those are in need of being done. And the little our new friend, as we call her, will likely want me to play Roblox with her when she's done with her bath. That's the big incentive for her, is Margie, and yes, I am Margie, plays Roblox with her. Works better than anything else. And that's a pro tip for anyone that I've learned throughout both this and working with special ed kids in my job. Find out what their interests are. Find out a way to participate in them with them, and it will increase like better behavior tenfold. So pro tip for you there, if you're thinking of having your own kids, working with kids, babysitting, whatever, it almost always works if you can get on their level in whatever thing they like. But for right now, I gotta go check on said little and do some other things. So I will check in with you in a bit. All right, all the dishes are done. Go me. That took a while. When there's another person in the house, the dishes need done so much more often. But Alex wants to go get ice cream now, so we'll probably head up a drive-through ice cream place somewhere because the man loves himself some ice cream. I did manage some reading of Dog Warriors by Wen Spencer, but like I'm low-key don't want to finish it because I know that it's the end and there's no more books, and I really don't think this is like the actual end of the series. I think it's one of those cases where like the author just gave up this series because Wen Spencer writes more fantasy-esque, and I think she probably just gave up her sci-fi because it wasn't as popular, which is the story of my life, really, because I always love a fantasy author's sci-fi work. The fantasy, I can take or leave. They start writing sci-fi, I'm all about that. So I'm sad. And I'm really hoping that the trilogy I bought off Thrift Books comes in soon, and I hope it's good because I need more. And I guess I have more military sci-fi from this time period that I could also jump into, and I might. There's another trilogy that I have yet to read that I have in the room, and they're short. I'm doing really well reading-wise this month, actually, but now I should stop rambling because the longer I take, the longer it takes us to get to ice cream, and now there is a first grader that is very excited about ice cream. So I will talk to you in a bit. Hello, it is after dinner, and I have officially let the day get away from me. We went out to get ice cream. I found out in the middle of the drive that I didn't really want ice cream, and then we had to go to like 3 different places to find one that didn't have a super long line, because apparently everyone else had the same idea as us, and we finally found it, got the ice cream, well I didn't, got home, in time to jump into my family group chat, which I totally forgot was a thing today, but I haven't talked to my siblings in a while or seen my nieces and nephew, so that was fun. But that also means that I had to go right from that to dinner and then eating dinner. So I got next to no time. I don't know how much I'm going to get done. I'm going to use a little bit of time I have while Alex is playing with our friend to get some reading done. We have about an hour and a half until her call with Dad tonight, because we have a call with one birth parent every other day, which is a lot. So I'll be doing that at 7. And those usually don't last too long, so it's not that big of a deal. But then after, if she has a good call, she gets some kind of reward. A game of tag or hide and seek or playing Roblox with me. So that'll take up some time. So I'm basically, at this point, gonna focus on trying to get like little snippets, like little pieces of reading throughout the day. And that's actually really good if you have a hectic schedule and you want to still read. Give up the idea of, I'm going to sit for hours and read this book, and think more, I'm going to steal 20 minutes to read these 30 pages, or at least that's what my reading speed is. And you'll still get the book read, as long as you can remember it, and sometimes you can even like let it stew in your brain, and it's a lot more fun, especially with this one, because it's the last one of the series. So, I'm going to try. I still have to practice guitar today, too. I forgot to finish all of my dailies first. Where did today go? What happened? So I've gotten some reading done. I've got like maybe 30 pages left of this, and I just realized that I never really talked about what it was about. So this is a military sci-fi all about this man who has to team up with this other military agent in the organization to fight what are essentially space terrorists. The only problem is that the woman he has to team up with, Ziva Pavane, for who this series is named, was contracted to assassinate his brother when his brother was accused of a crime he did not commit. And his innocence didn't come out until after the fact. So while technically she was working on government orders, she also killed his brother, but also they kind of have to go in and like rescue the son of this governor. So like, it's a lot. And the rescue scene in the titular facility of Dakiti is very long and drawn out, but I love it because military sci-fi is at its best when it's action-packed and all the cool technology and stuff. But again, I'm very close to being done. We are getting ready for the call with Dad, so we're going to be playing for a little bit with that. And then, of course, a game, probably Roblox, after the fact. And that'll be a lot of fun. And then hopefully tonight I can finish my other book, too, and get 2 books done. I'll check in with you in a bit. All right, we got through the call and it went well, and I don't know about you. What about you, girlie? You ready for some Roblox? That's a yes. Awesome. Let's play some Roblox. All right, I have finally finished Dakiti, and I'm feeling really good about that. The only problem is now I gotta like write out the whole Goodreads review and do all that, and then I will probably spend some time tomorrow filming the review. This one, on the other hand, I'm probably going to hold off reading for at least a little bit. I usually read while I'm sitting with our friend to help her fall asleep, and I don't want to like finish the book and have to pick a new one and then have to tell you after the fact that I've picked a new one. So we'll go with that instead. Anyway, I'm really happy to have this one finished, to have another one off my review list, or at least it will be once I get it done. And I will check in with you again if I end up reading a little bit more of this. I might be low-key emotional if I finish it, but I'll probably jump right into like the next one of the same like ilk of this to try and soften the blow. So the little is finally in bed. God bless an Alexa that can play Disney stories. But I was reading for a little bit, and I have only about 50 pages left of this. But again, it's the end of the series, and I'm slightly heartbroken. So I'm probably going to push it off until tomorrow, just because. So I will come back to this tomorrow, finish this one, and start a new one. And I probably won't continue the vlog past tomorrow night, but it's fun to get back to it for a little bit. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Sunday, Mother's Day, a new day, and I have not picked out a new book to read yet. So I probably should get on that. You want to come see me vlog? New friend just ran into the room. But gotta pick out that. And are you getting what I think you're getting? Okay, no. Anyway, so the big thing of today is to finish the other book, pick out a new one. I'll probably end up picking out two. I kind of like this idea of review book and fun book side by side. So I'll pick out both a new review book to start and a new fun book to start and see where that takes me. I have some ideas, but in general, I just really want to have a chill Sunday morning. We have lunch coming eventually because we decided to order in on Mother's Day, which, retrospect, bad idea. But I will talk to you in a bit. Alright, I just finished my review for Dakiti, and I'll get that up soonish. Probably will be in the description below. And I've been thinking about what to pick for my next review book, so that I'm always having one review book and one fun book. And I think I'm going to go with the one that I've already started and already got part of the way through, and it's also fairly short, and that is Calico Thunder Rides Again by T.A. Hernandez. And it's a really intriguing premise. It's basically this magic norm world where like humans are all aware that like magic and magical creatures exist, but it's in the 1920s and there's a magical prohibition. So basically magic is what's prohibited instead of alcohol. And this is all about a circus owner who inherited the business from his father, and he also inherited some gigantic debts to the mafia. So now he has to try and pay off a gigantic amount of money or very bad things will happen. And I love this like juxtaposition of magical world with like circuses that have dragons and griffins, but also very realistic problems on behalf of the actual characters. I like that. And the writing style is very interesting. For whatever reason, when I first picked it up, I just wasn't feeling it. But now I feel like I'm a little bit farther away from a slump than I was before, so maybe I can risk it. At least I'm going to try. The one book that I am just so struggling with, Wildcat by J.P. Harker. I actually started reading this back when I was still vlogging, is that a month ago now? And I just can't. I can't get through more than 25 pages at a time. It is this thick boy, 500-page historic war, whatever, and I don't really like the main character, and it's a whole big thing, and I'm not the point of DNFing quite yet. I try my best to give a review book the biggest chance before I finally DNF. So we're not there yet, but I might have to let the author know that it's going to be a very long time because my brain's just not with it. So I have a couple more things yet to do. I need to do some reading, need to play with the little because she is desperate for a game of Roblox, of course. So I will check in with you in a little bit. I have finished it, and I am sad. Mostly because I really don't think this book was meant to be the last of the series as a whole, because there are characters that were crucial or big parts of the first three books that really aren't here, and it's more to give space for the new characters that are here. But because of that, because of the fact that there's like characters that were like majorly important to the protagonist's life in the first three books that only get like quick cameos or like mentions in this one, it doesn't feel like the end of a series. It feels like this was another in the series. And also it feels like, I don't know, like there should have been more. But I guess I'm happy to have finished another series. Even though I'm sad. So I'll work on picking out a new book, something in the same ilk, I think, or whatever else catches my eye. It's no longer Indie April, so I'm not beholden to indie books. Obviously, this one isn't indie, so I might work through more of my used bookstore books because I have so many of those because I cannot say no to used bookstore. The only reason I have in the shopping lot now is because they can't sell books right now. So I'm going to try to start working more through those to make all of my shopping through used bookstores actually worth something. But I am sad, and I might play some more Stardew Valley to make myself happy, but I will check in with you in a bit. Hello, me and my crazy hair. So I'm sitting in the office trying to like do taste tests of first chapters with my used books, most of whom are on this bookshelf right here. The problem is that the one that sounds the best right now. Gorgon Child by Stephen Barnes. This is sci-fi from the year 1989. It was when it was written, and it is set in the 2020s. So the idea of reading a dystopian set in the 2020s from 30 years ago, or yeah, 30 years ago, just sounds really funny to me right now. The problem is, and this happens a lot when I buy from used bookstores, this is the second in series, but I like it because it's an own voices black protagonist from the 80s, and granted it's genre fiction, so genre fiction didn't hold to as much gatekeeping, but I'm still intrigued by it, see how it reads differently, the bit of own voices from back in the 80s, but I gotta pick up the first one, which means I'm gonna have to hit up thrift books again, and I really at some point just gotta go through, see which ones I actually want to read, and then work on buying those ones from thrift books. But for now, I am going to keep searching for my next fun read. Alright, it is time for a palate cleanser. I have finally picked my next read, and in the spirit of schlocky paperbacks from the early 2000s, I am going with Lord of Seduction by Nicole Jordan. Yes, that's right, a nice bodice-ripping romance. But lest you be like Margaret, this doesn't look like a bodice-ripping romance. Look at that cover. That's gosh darn downright demure. This is right in the inside cover. So we're gonna go with this. It seems to be a fake engagement in, I don't know, ye olde England. I'm not quite sure what time period it's supposed to be. Victorian, Edwardian, Regency. There we go. So this will be a quick, easy, fluffy read that will help me take a quick breather before all of the sci-fi books I'm going to be ordering come in, so I can start reading those, and I'll have another used book read, thereby justifying all of the used books I'm going to buy when we can buy them again. All right. I gotta go make sure that our child is, well, not our child, our new friend is ready for call with mom tonight, so I will talk to you in a little bit. Hello, I am back. The little is officially asleep. I love that your Alexa can play Disney stories, but I just wanted to come close it out. I did a little bit more reading in my romance novel, about 40 pages. It's a pretty quick read. It looks pretty standard, but I was kind of struck by something over the course of the day, in that it is Mother's Day, and it didn't occur to me at first that this is something that I should be celebrating or be expecting to celebrate. And then my husband got me a cart, and part of me is like, do I get one of these today? And his dad, my father-in-law, called me because that portion of his family, his father and stepmother, are very dedicated to you call on Father's and Mother's Day. And so they called to wish me a happy Mother's Day, and it was like, does this count? Like, and it's hard to say because I am the female caretaker for a child, and doing bath times and making dinner, and getting her to sleep, and all this other kind of stuff. But I've never called myself her foster mom in her hearing, mostly because of some preconceived notions that would only get in the way of forming a bond and that kind of thing. But like, I've never referred to her really as my foster daughter or any of that kind of thing. So it's like, I don't know if I count for this holiday. I don't know if this is my first Mother's Day as a mom, because like, it is temporary and it's all up in the air, and it doesn't necessarily feel like motherhood, but I also don't know what that would feel like. Kind of, there's going to be a very long journal entry tonight, I think, as I work through this, but it's something I'll think through moving forward. My husband and I are certified to adopt, and I do fully intend on whatever forever children we have will come from the foster system. So I know that much. But of course, in the interim, you're always focused on reunification. So your first goal is always supposed to be the child leaving you. So it makes that the kind of almost a kind of ownership that comes with motherhood that doesn't really apply here. And I'm just all up in the air. And I'm not expecting anyone to actually answer this. It was just something I was thinking about that is very specific to my situation. And again, will be journaled. I'm low-key thinking about writing a memoir of what it would be like, or what it is like, to foster for the first time in a literal pandemic, because that's probably a thing. That's probably a part of why this feels so weird, is because all of life feels so weird. Like, I've never had to pick a child in my care up from school before, because that's not a thing right now. So who knows? Maybe I'll figure it out 3 weeks later. I'll know whether or not I should have been celebrating Mother's Day. I honestly couldn't tell you. But it was nice to get back to vlogging for a little bit. I'm probably not going to pick vlogging up again, at least not on a weekday, until the school year is over, because we are still homeschooling, and trying to do homeschool and other things while vlogging is just insane. But I think I've proven to myself through this little experiment that I can do it. I have found ways to vlog and keep her identity safe, so this is something that I can definitely come back to. And of course, this placement might not even last that long. We might be back to being childless, or with a second child, or with, I literally have no idea what my summer looks like right now. I could have 2 children in the house come 4th of July, or none, and I don't know what their ages would be, or, well, I mean, I know that they would likely both be of the same gender, but that's about all I have. So, little look into the thought process behind fostering, in case you were wondering. But I'm closing this one out. Thank you for watching if you have. I know this is the weirdest vlog because I started halfway through books and ended halfway through books, and it's just, I don't even know. But thank you for sticking around if you did, and with nothing else to say, I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.